So yeah, that was my cleanup from my Wisconsin rock tater hunt I just did a couple weeks ago or a week ago. And we were fishing up north this week, so I have a lot of things going on right now. Very, very busy again with that Spencer Opal hunt. You'll see I went to the gem fields and grabbed some really cool stuff there. I was out in Utah. I stopped at a rest area out in Utah and I found this monster rock. I'm not going to say what rest area it is. That's going to be a secret because I didn't really know what I had because it was kind of a real dark evening, but it just looked like it might be a freaking cool rock. So you're at a rest area, so I grabbed it. I thought, I'll just grab it. What the heck, right? So, yes, I brought that home, and wow, as you look at it closer, it's like, wow, 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 wow. Why did nobody else see that? Because the windows on the rock looks pretty plain, other than it's got a few windows on there. But in those few windows, this rock has really got some good potential. I can't wait to show everybody it. But again, that'll be coming. I've got a lot of stuff on my plate right now, a lot of stuff I'm doing. I got Spencer Opal videos I'm working on. I have the gem field videos I'm working on. My tater hunts I'm working on. So yeah, so busy, busy, busy. So yeah, hope you enjoyed looking at them few taters I picked recently at a new spot. Always remember to hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you like what you see. So thanks a lot, everybody. See you in a rock room near you. Okay, here's that one tater here. Got some pretty interesting stuff going on. This is all, real smooth. The only rough stuff on was just this little tiny bit on top. But yeah, it's got some good black, the black kind of thunder eggy formation. It's got some good red banding in there. Might be a pretty good one. Okay, here's another good one. This is one of those red and black mixed in right together. I could probably get this in the sun here. You see a little better there. So yeah, good and red and black one. Okay, here's one that was kind of a half nodule. Again, with some good red and black mixing in there. It's got that interesting like wave pattern on the top. A lot of them seem to get that. The molten rock look. But yeah, nice little stone. Okay, this one seemed to have some good banding or layering. You can see that running through there. And on the other side, you can see it really good. Although not very colorful. And here's obviously the center. But yeah, nice look to it. Okay, this one's got a big, although it's wet now, it's got a big crystal pocket in there. But yeah, again, it's got that good red and black. And this kind of color here seems to be very glassy. There's a good look at it. Of course it's wet, but nice crystal vog in there. You can see some banding going on there, up along there. Okay, here's a piece of oolitic jasper. I guess you can see the speckle pattern in there. You can zoom this in a little better. Pretty well looking stuff. Ooh, I just had a bee go down my neck. Ooh, it's still on me. So yeah, very interesting. Pretty good chunk too. Look, here's this little guy. And again, you can see the good banding on there. Or at least a little bit of banding, kind of like a center, more like a nodule or half nodule. And of course, that's what the tater looks like. And you flip it over, and that's when it gets pretty crazy looking. Alright, again, this one's got some really interesting patterns on it. Again, this one was just like a little tater. Wouldn't think twice. But on the inside, look at that craziness, huh? Pretty nice. And again, just the tater part. And it's pretty well looking on the inside. And look, here's another piece of oolitic. But this one seemed to have a lot more of the purple to it. So red with more of a purple cap, but still pretty oh man, these bees are just swarming me out here. Pretty intense though. Okay, and then there's this little crazy looking thing. Doesn't have much, but on this side, the clean side, got some real kind of a neat flow pattern there, and very translucent. But yeah, just that top little area up there, almost like a flamey pattern or something. Here's the same with this tater, but if you like get an opening in there, this is good. Again, it's got that nice orange and black. These have really good patterns when you slice into them. Now this guy here has a lot of different colors, different things going on. So the whole thing is pretty neat looking, pretty big chunk too. Some of that stuff is crazy looking. Alright, another big chunk of oolitic jasper. And you can see the kind of wonky patterns on that. Maybe a little bit too much. Try to get that to focus. So this is more of a More like a breccia. But still just crazy. Good bright fire engine red. Maybe even brighter than that. Looks like a pretty big thick band of hematite on the bottom. Okay, now when I grabbed this one, I kind of figured that it would have this pattern on it. And I say this is very translucent. And then it's encompassed in this kind of a veining, this gold color. Pretty neat when you cut them, polish them. And then you see your average tater again. And then you can see what's going to be inside of this again, this black and orange, very contrasty pattern. Pretty good chunk. Now these here are always good for agates, or at least agate banding inside of them. And this has got some nice color contrast. But you can kind of see some agate banding there. There's some little agates there. And you can see the agate running up there. And then on this side, now you can just see that. Agate all over that. And that's a pretty good size agate compared to my thumb. Alright, and then this is a crazy nice bright red piece of jasper. But if you look at some of these old crystal vogs, and I know the camera's not picking this up real well, some of them have like red crystals in them. And white crystals. And then some of them have like, I think it was on this other side, had almost like purple, like purpley ones in it. I don't know where I've seen the purple before, but maybe that was it. It's just wet. So yeah, some good crystal pockets in there. That's always an added benefit. Okay, here's a nice other littler one. It's got some good contrasty color. Now this one I grabbed just because it was yellow. Find too many yellow rocks. Yeah, it's not the brightest yellow, but it's yellow. Now this is just a chunk of volcanic glass, and you can just see the wavy pattern on there. That's kind of the broken part. But yeah, it's got that liquid or melted rock kind of look to it, and this is very translucent. You know, it's hard to pick up on the camera. But yeah. And then of course another one of these, and a lot of times, like I say, when I find these, you find agate banding in them. Now obviously where this one broke apart at one time, you can see that big agate banding going in there. And thumb sized anyhow. Kind of wraps around that side. Alright, now this guy here is just filled with this bright red jasper pieces. Some kind of a conglomerate, kind of breccia. But the rest of it is like old, broken up, kind of blacky, dirty red jasper with these big, bright red jaspery chunks mixed in. Okay, now again, this one is that interesting one. It's got that almost like a brain-like texture to it. Very translucent, and all the chalcedony pockets are all rimmed with this like gold and red mix. So these look really cool when they're polished. And then, like I say, that top brain-like pattern. And obviously this was formed when the softer chalcedony faded away or wore away, and this harder jasper on the outside was left behind. But it sure does look cool when it's like that, and that, like I say, when it's not worn away evenly, or when it is worn away evenly, that's kind of what it looks like. Okay, and here's another crazy looking piece of red jasper. I grabbed this because on the outside it kind of looked like that blood cell rock I get a lot of times. Not sure if this is what this is going to be, but I grabbed it anyhow. You can see the holy nature to this. Okay, here's another big glassy, very translucent. You can just see the translucency in that top there. Just a big glassy tater. Don't know what it's going to look like on the inside, but I grabbed it. Okay, now this Mongo here, this thing has everything going for it. And it's super huge. Definitely over 5 pounds, and this is very translucent. I can't really get that to show at a good angle from the sun, but this is a huge pocket of glass, and then the rest of it gets this super crazy color and pattern on it, and yet it's like, say, this is a big rock here. Okay, and here's one of the last big ones of the trip, and again, this is one of those big glassy, the ones that usually have like a lot of agates, but it's got these, you know, these chalcedony vein or pockets, and then this gold rimming going around the edges of them. Some red in there too, a lot of red up there. I didn't see any agate in this one, but I guess here, if I looked at it closer, there actually is some fine little agatization going on in there. On this side's a big crystal vog. Oop. But yeah, all in all, just a really cool specimen. And then of course there's the little The little tiny ones you grab just because they're kind of neat. They can be kind of neat. Different varieties. And pieces of jasper and stuff. So, yeah. Hey guys, I was on a recent tater hunt. I haven't done too many tater hunts this year because it's been so wet here in Wisconsin. And even now when I was out there, the mosquitoes were I mean, in the edge of the woods, so horrendous. Like, I just could not believe the thousands and thousands of swarming mosquitoes. But I guess because it's been so wet that I couldn't hunt taters, that was just the prime spawning bed for mosquitoes. So yes, the mosquitoes are just horrible. So this is the cleanup of the rocks I had recently gathered. And like I say, if you enjoy what you like, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Always appreciate it. Helps channel out. So yeah, let's look at some Wisconsin taters.